Hello, everybody. This is Josh and Lauren. So let's dive on in and take a look at what information there is and what we can learn from this. So on this next slide, we're going to discuss the individual who's responsible. So, hello, everybody. It's Josh and Lauren and Christine, and we're doing our presentation on cowspiracy. This is for the video documentary. So let's dive on in and take a look at what information there is and what we can learn from this. So on this next slide, we're going to discuss the individual who's responsible for this documentary and making it happen. His name's Kip Anderson. So what he does is he goes around to several of these environmental organizations and he tries to discuss the issue of animal agriculture and the amount of water that it uses, deforestation, things like that. And all of these organizations, they speak to him, but they kind of refuse to speak about the animal agriculture part. And some organizations just don't even want to talk to him at all. So it's very interesting, and I think it's a documentary that everybody should watch and get some information from. There's a lot of good facts in there. We've reached slide 3. On this slide, what we're going to do is we're going to watch a clip, like an intro clip to cowspiracy and kind of an overview of what it's about. So let's sit back, relax, and check out this intro. All right, so on this slide, we're going to take a look and see what the problem is. So the problem is that animal agriculture is the #1 contributor to human-caused climate change. Raising animals for food consumes approximately a third of fresh water, which is it's quite a bit. That's really amazing. It occupies up to 45% of Earth's land, so animal agriculture takes up 45% of Earth's land, which is quite a bit. It's responsible for 91% of the Amazon forest destruction. It's the leading cause of animal extinction because we're over there tearing down these forests and destroying ecosystems and interrupting species lifestyles and destroying their habitats. It's also a leading cause of the ocean dead zones.
So I'm just going to be talking to you guys about a couple more problems that how animal agriculture is impacting climate change. Basically, a lot of the world focuses on fossil fuels and how it affects climate change. But one of the biggest factors into it is the animals. There's 70 billion animals that are raised annually, and then every day 144 million animals are killed just for food. This is why a lot of people go vegan, vegetarian. It's more of their beliefs on not just a diet or some restrictions, but how each person, by eating more meat, is actually really affecting our world. U.S. farms produce 7 million pounds of excrement every minute. that's just another more pollution added to the world that we don't need. And many environmentalists are dodging the issue, basically because they just don't want to face it. They want to draw the attention onto other things, such as like burning fossil fuels or emissions and stuff like that, but really not focus on the agricultural side of the actual problem. So now talking about greenhouse emissions and how it also relates to animal agriculture. Basically, raising cattle produces more greenhouse gases than all cars, trucks, trains, boats, planes combined. And how that has happened is because of the and that is the direct effect of global warming. And basically, the CO2 is coming from the high energy feed. They get fed a lot of corn, a lot of high energy crops, which depend on a lot of fertilizer, and then also fueling factory farms. So this is again back to the CO2. They have at least 90 million tons of CO2 annually worldwide that they use to feed to harvest fed crops. The process and packaging of the meat, slaughtering the animals, deforestation, to give the cattle room to live and to overpopulate and produce more. And also, last thing just to touch on is the methane gas from the livestock is 25 to 100 times more destructive than carbon dioxide from vehicles. So when people say that, maybe carpooling or, just something simple like that would affect or would help affect us get out of global warming producing at a higher rate. Yes, that is true, but we also need to just be more aware of eating meat products and how that is actually more destructive than the carbon dioxide from vehicles. So just a different look at it from the agricultural side than just, vehicles and other mainstream topics about it. Thanks, guys.
Hey everyone, I'm going to briefly go over the environmental impact of the meat production and how the food choices we make every day affect our planet. So there's a couple things that meat uses during production. Meat uses water, meat uses land, it uses rain, and CO2. So to give you some numbers to give you an idea, to make 1 pound of beef, it takes 2,500 gallons of water, 55 square feet of rainforest, 16 pounds of grain, and 80 kilograms of food. That may not sound a whole lot to make 1 pound of beef, but when you incorporate the U.S. intake of beef overall, those numbers become astronomical. The U.S. consumes 25 billion pounds of beef a year. So the meat industry contributes to our deforestation, our water shortages, so forth and so on. Okay, solution to problems. So a few things that we came up with as a group was just to lessen your meat intake overall, eat more of a plant-based diet, eat more veggies. What I do in my household is Monday is meat-free Monday. May not be that great of an example because it is followed by Taco Tuesday. You can also choose the right kind of meat. Choose chicken over pork and beef. Choose pasture-raised meat. You can still help the environment without going all the way to